growing up, I guess you would say we were Catholic. I was baptized, I did my first communion, all that stuff, but we basically only went to church on Easter and Christmas, but yet we were Catholic, if anybody asked, So I really didn't have any church life growing up. As I got older, I guess the real turn was when I was probably about 13, 14 years old when my parents got divorced. I really took a turn to the rebellious side, I guess you'd say. And that kind of played into really my early 20s, I guess. I was in a very, very toxic relationship. And I remember praying to God, and this is somebody who's had no really church experience, no religion in their home, anything. Just please, God, please, please, please show me a way out of this. And I promise I will never go back and I will change my life. Well, there was an incident and it was definitely life-changing, and I did leave. I moved back home with my mom with my two young kids, and for a while, I prayed, but I didn't really know anything beyond that. I had no idea what it even meant to follow God. I had no clue. And even on the occasion when we would go to the Catholic Church, I never really felt like I got anything out of it. So it really left me feeling empty. I felt broken. I felt worthless. And even as I kind of transitioned into knowing more about Christ and kind of had an idea of what it meant to follow him, and this is after I was married, it almost felt like it was something I was doing for everybody else. It still wasn't that personal relationship that I now know I was missing. This is really emotional for me because it's such it was just so life-changing. But I can tell you this, after I found Christ, my life is forever changed. I have found a joy that I never knew possible. And I can tell you that every single person at Daybreak had a hand. Because I never once felt judged or rejected or unwanted. And this is from the first time that I came here. It was the first time I ever felt welcomed. Because there's a lot of stigma that comes with being a single mom. So I would just like everybody to know at Daybreak that every single person here had a hand in me being saved. Well, when I first started coming here, like I said, I was welcomed from the moment we drove the car, and I say we, it was me and my friend that invited me to come to Daybreak. But from the moment we drove on the parking lot, from the parking team that waved and, had this look of absolute joy on their face, to the people that greeted us when we walked in the door, to the people that were sitting around us, it all slowly started to chip away, I guess, at that stigma that I had, I guess, if you want to call it that. But it was actually a sermon that Wes did on, do you consider yourself a Christian? Are you a Christ follower? And what the difference was. Because if you were to ever ask me, I would say, well, of course I'm a Christian. I believe in God. Did I know anything more than that? Not a whole lot. But when he gave that sermon, that right there is what changed my life. And when I made the decision to follow Christ and to accept him into my life as my Lord and Savior, it was kind of a quiet transition. I really I wasn't sharing a whole lot still, and I didn't understand until really recently that it's more than just going to church. It's more than just accepting Jesus into your life. Because now that I have done that, I am now the church, and now it's my job to bring people to him that don't know him. I have a sense of peace and absolute joy that I never knew possible. Like, not only just within me, myself, but within my marriage, within my family. It's just, I can't even describe the calmness that I now have, and just the absolute joy that every day brings, because even in our darkest hours, God's got this, and I don't have to fear that anymore.